Okay, folks, well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm making me a fresh pot of kofefe, and I'm sleepy, but I'm restless at the same time. I'm bored. You know, it's just been too hot to really do a whole lot of stuff. And I've got this magical staff of Pew here, and I'm going to try a few things. I've got some 00 steel wool, and I'm going to start rubbing on it and seeing if I can't get some of this paint off of here. And I'm not really caring if I scratch the metal a little bit, which this shouldn't scratch the metal. If nothing else, it'll polish it out. But I'm thinking this might actually do good to get some of this paint off. Because I would actually like to get all this paint off without having to use a chemical. Because I really don't want to take the bluing off that I already have. But if I have to, I will. So I was just going to make this really nice and smooth and go back and re-blue it and take it all apart and clean everything and oil it and then do something with this wood. Now, the steel wool is taking the paint off of the wood pieces, and I think it's actually making the wood look pretty decent. So maybe I can get some type of oil. I don't know what kind I would use. Maybe a linseed oil. Maybe I'll use that Odie's that I've got and just try to bring some more color to it, some depth. So that's what I'm going to work on for right now. So let me get over here and try to rub on this thing and see if I can make some progress. Okay, so far I've got about 10 minutes into rubbing on this thing with steel wool. This right here, the receiver part, where they've got it all ground, this is becoming really difficult because I can't get into those little grooves and those channels where they hit it with that little flapper wheel. So I might have to chemical dip this receiver, maybe do like a vinegar solution, take it apart, let this soak in vinegar for a couple days, or they actually make a all-natural non-corrosive stripper for metal. It eats rust, does all fun stuff. Maybe I'll have to do that, but we'll have to see. Now on the grip part, this is coming out really nice from the steel wool. Now I will have to take it apart and get the ends down here and the smaller pieces, but like I said, it's just easier to hold and start rubbing on it where it's all assembled. It's just better. So this is going to look real nice. I bet I could take some of that Odie's oil and retreat it. I'll clean these grooves out and to bring the depth and the color out of this wood again. Now these items here were actually produced for the Sears and Roebuck catalog. That's where these came from. Now I'm not 100% sure or not if the Sears Roebuck catalog is the only place you can get these models, but that's where you'd have to buy these. Now, maybe you could get them someplace else. I'm not 100% sure. So, sanding on the opposite side of the receiver, this is looking pretty good, but I don't know what kind of spray paint they use. But man, even with that 00 steel wool, it took quite a bit of scrubbing to get this fairly clean. As you can see, I think this is some of the original blue that's came off of it, or I don't know. So what I'll probably end up doing is go ahead and buying that stripper. I will take this whole gun apart and find some way to soak it and take all this back to bare metal, every single bit of it, and then go back and re-blue the whole thing. Now, with quite a bit of pressure, I can get this paint hot enough with the steel wool that it just kind of starts coming off in these little balls. So I think I can get the wood fairly squared away. There's a couple gouges in it, but I might be able to take some fine grit sandpaper or something and smooth that wood out. But the foregrip up here turned out pretty nice. I can sand a little bit up here more, but the color of it's I like the grain. I think this will turn out real pretty. I'm just going to go back with a regular blue and just try to make it a pretty shotgun again. Like I said, it's basically worth $100 the way I got it. So I'm not losing anything other than a little bit of money buying the blue and the stripper. Bluing it, it's not going to increase the value, more likely. So anytime you have an old item like this, you're really not out anything other than time, and you're only doing it basically because you want it to look pretty. So plus when you re-blue it, it protects the metal and stuff like that. But This right here is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to definitely have to use that chemical stripper, and I might have to find some, I can't remember what it's like sandpaper, or like emery cloth, and see if I can't smooth out all those scratches and maybe buff it, try to make it more presentable without all these little mars and stuff in the finish. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to keep sanding on this, and once I get the majority of paint off this, I'm going to go ahead and start taking the whole thing apart. So the stock is coming along pretty well. It's got kind of a sticky patch like right here and right here. I don't know if it's the old lacquer coat or whatever they put on the stock, or if there's just a lot of oil buildup, or it's just, like I said, it's just kind of, it's not smooth like right here. When I drag my finger across it, my fingers kind of stick, but I think the stock's going to end up looking pretty good. I still got this side to go, and yeah, but that double O steel wool's working pretty good. You just got to scrub your butt off to get the paint off of this wood. So I guess that's how it's supposed to come apart, but man, look at the rust on that. I finally, after about 30 minutes, figured out how to break this thing down. So here's the stock and the trigger mechanism. I don't know if you can see, but there's rust over quite a bit of it. This right here is a number, it says 77-99, I guess is what that is. Maybe this is a 1977 model, I don't know. I'm going to say this is more in the 50s, just because what I'm reading online, just some of the things that it has on it. So maybe it's late 50s. I think they started making these in 58. I'd say this is between 58 and 66. That's what I'm guessing. So yeah, there's that part there. And then you got the bolt. You see a lot of rust in here. A lot. And then this goes on top of the bolt. It goes like this, like such. That's one piece. Now the one area that I have no clue how you separate the barrel from the receiver. I'm assuming you'll have to have a special tool, or I'll have to have a special tool to get in here, because there's like little notches. I don't know if you can see little notches in here. It looks like a special tool goes in from back to this way, and you turn it and it undoes the barrel. I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to dip this whole piece, because there's quite a bit of rust down in here, and it's pretty just dirty nasty, and I'm sure the barrel's got rust in it too. So I think that's as far as I'm going to go as far as breaking this down. I think there's a screw back here all the way up in here that might screw that together. I'm not 100% sure, but well, I've got this broke down as far as I can get it. I don't have a super long screwdriver, so I can't take the stock off of the trigger group or whatever here. Maybe I'll borrow one from a neighbor and take this off. This should be a brass trigger, but they've got paint over top of it, so I'll probably just take this whole mechanism, drop it in the solution, get it all clean. I don't know how to separate this. I really don't see a way to do it other than try to tear it up, and I'm not going to do that. So there's that, and then you got the receiver and the barrel, one piece. Got my bolt, other bolt piece. It's all got a lot of rust in it, so I'm going to get all this stuff good and clean. And I kind of see why they painted it, because the bluing had already been coming off. But no worries, I'll get it all cleaned up and stripped, and I'll get some so I'll get something. Get this all nice and smooth. Try to get all these scratches off. Okay, it's the next morning. I guess it's about lunchtime, and I've been out here screwing with the gun. As you can see here, they have scratched and gouged the living crap out of the side of this receiver. They got grind. They must have hit it with like just a grinding wheel, like a hard stone grinding wheel or something. But yeah, there was an engraving here, and I tried to take it all off. I don't know if you can see it, but like right here is like a pine tree, or like not a pine tree, but a palm tree. It looks like you can still barely see. So yeah, this right here is a piece of 220 grit. I believe it's 220 grit drywall sandpaper is what this is. But I got it because it's actually got this Velcro pad on the back, give me a little bit of extra cushion from like the sanding marks and stuff. And I've just been sanding and sanding and sanding, trying to smooth this metal out. But right here, they really boogered the shit out of it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go uptown, see if I can't find something like a 120 or a 180 grit piece of paper. If I can find like a flapper wheel or something like that, maybe it'll work. I don't want to damage the metal any more than they have. I just want to try to smooth out all these scratches the best I can. That way, when I re-blue it, it don't look so bad. Plus, I don't want to take a whole lot of metal off this thing. But anyway, that's my progress so far. Well, folks, I hope you liked this video so far. This is going to be, I guess, the part 1 of the Savage reconstruction, I guess is what you want to call it. So, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Check out my links below in the description. And check back with me next week. I will have the part 2 to the Savage video. Until then, I'm going to finish with my spaghetti sauce. I'm going to feed my face. Take the rest of the day and just chillax. So until then, see ya.